shadow on the wall that looks like a man. Lord, that lamp just moved on that stand. I got movement in the cellars, I got footsteps in the hall. There's no time to waste, I better make some calls. I gotta get ready, make everything right, 'cause all my rowdy friends are goes hunting tonight. Hey, round up the team, let's get started. Hey, this is Brother Mike. There's a party and you're invited. We got the camera set, let's turn off these lights, 'cause all my rowdy friends are goes hunting tonight. This old house has a long history. It should be real, real good for activity. And we got the house wired for sound and got motion alarms setting all around. Got a box full of batteries ready to go, and everyone's itching to start this show. Got our logo tees, driving black SUVs, and that one bald guy with a slick goatee. Hey, round up the team, let's get started. Hey, this is Brother Mike. Well, there's a party and you're invited. We got the camera set, let's turn off these lights, 'cause all my rowdy friends are goes hunting tonight. Hey, round up the team, let's get started. Hey, this is your big brother Mike calling. There's a party and you're invited. We got the camera set, let's turn off these lights, 'cause all my rowdy friends are goes hunting tonight. That's right. Go get 'em, boys.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome to Pema TV. It is September 21st, 2012. Thanks for pointing that out, because I didn't even notice that. This is the sarcastic Yeti.
Yes. And this is the perpetually sarcastic wife. Tonight we've got some very special guests, but before we get there, we do have quite a bit of news.
First of all, we'd like to send our condolences to
Most definitely.
family and friends of Father Andrew Calder. I don't know why his name just slipped out of my head. I've known it forever.
He was definitely one of the good ones. He would help you if he needed help. He would also stand his ground on his beliefs too, and you have to respect the man for that.
Absolutely. I met him 2 years ago at Scarefest.
Mm-hmm.
And he was very nice.
Yeah, he's a very, very, very congenial. He's one of the good ones. He will most definitely be missed.
Absolutely.
Here on the network, on PEN, do have a lot of new shows coming. Want to let you know, since everybody kind of already knows that I'm a lard ass. There's really no other way to say that. But starting this Tuesday, we are bringing a new show on Tuesday nights called Namaste Yoga. And I'm going to do it.
I'm going to sit back and watch him try to...
She just wants me to get my foot behind my head. And
absolutely.
She already knows if my foot makes it behind my head, there's going to be an ambulance involved. But just wanted to let you know here on
But I will take pictures.
We are striving to bring you some new and different programming and some stuff to expand your mind, expand your body. So join us on Tuesday nights.
Join us on Monday nights.
Also have a new show starting next Thursday, this coming Thursday, called Lease on Air with Heather Lease. Going to be another great talk-based show. Some other shows are definitely in the works. Plus our already stellar lineup of great shows with great hosts. Every time you come here, you'll learn something. For sure. But tonight, we are joined by...
the Demon Doctors, Antonio and DJ. Gentlemen, are you with us?
Yes, hello. Thank you.
How are you guys doing?
We are doing fine. How are you?
Well, I'm going to ask the standard issue question I'm sure you guys are used to asking.
You have to pick one or the other because I can't see who's talking at what.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll start with you. I'll start with you, DJ. What got you started in this pursuit? I mean, what got you motivated to get you going into house clearings, helping people?
Well, a long time ago, you know, I guess I was just bored, and I just said, you know what, I want to find out about this ghost thing, if they really exist or not. And just kind of started out that way, and got into like a local group, and you know, not a lot happened at first, and then as I kept getting involved, and you know, I was taking some classes and learning, and it seemed like everyone wanted to be with me, like as the team leader and stuff like that, because things would happen around me. Now, not for me, but around me. And then it went from there to where house investigations, people were needing help. Well, I think I knew what I was doing, but guess what? I didn't know what to do for them. Okay? So then from there, you know, I ran into this great gentleman, and it's totally gone a whole different way, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Antonio, how about yourself?
I actually had experience like a paranormal experience when I was a kid, but I did not get involved into it. I tried to, actually I kind of like a felt kind of like a scared and at the time, and seeing different things or hearing different things, and I got to the point that almost like 9-10 years ago, I made a wish, and my wish came true. Which my wish was that it was like some stuff going on also in the world. And of course, I was trying to bring my mother to here. I had like a little problem as far as paperwork and different things due to the fact the relationship between all these countries. And I knew the root of it comes from more greater, not greater in that sense, but more powerful forces that almost play almost like a wall to us. So I decided, it was like at 2 a.m., I made a wish that if I get any power in order to get to the demonic force, I will bring the devil back. And after, maybe after I finished, I started walking, so I started hearing voices, and which all started from there.
So kind of be careful what you wish for, because sometimes you get it?
Well, actually, I think, sometimes they said, if you wish, I think when your mind, your heart is in it, that you get it. And of course, to me, I don't think anybody else, they wish for anything like that. Most people, they wish for different things, maybe for better life, better jobs, or sometimes be a president or something like that. But I meant that I wished for it. And then, yes, you're right on that. But I'm actually happy. I'm very, very happy that actually I got this power from the divine to help people.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the happiness that it made me, I cannot even describe it with words.
Well, I'm very curious about this. I don't know about Kim. I'm going to ask this. Why did you guys choose the name the Demon Doctors?
Well, Demon Doctors actually came from, I worked for the security company, and I'm kind of like a leading a group of the people. I have a tendency to call everybody doctor.
Gotcha.
And, just from there, it was no intention in it, although I had some feedback and come to understanding, but, we just caught it because, somebody that can kind of help people with the demonic activities.
What? Go ahead. Go ahead.
When you guys go out on these cases, that aren't necessarily demonic, but they're just cranky spirits, do you think all of them need to be crossed over, or do you think some of them just need to be left alone to do whatever they want to do?
Well, actually, go ahead, DJ, if you want.
Go ahead.
Do you want me? Okay, no, actually, you want to go ahead.
In most cases, depending on what it is, when we're talking about, crossing over, an unwanted spirit, or a earthbound spirit, okay? An earthbound spirit usually wants to be crossed over anyway. It's time for them to go. Okay, but when we're getting into this other realm of unwanted spirits and, demonic and, what we call human ghosts and stuff like that, if you want to call it crossed over, you can, but what he does is a full removal. Okay? They're gone, they're taken away, they go where they need to go, and they don't come back. So I'm going to say in all cases, no matter what it is, it needs to go.
And actually, I go a little bit kind of deeper to your question is, it is possible because I do not just do it. I get the authorization in order to do it, and I have to get the authorization and permission from the divine in order to do it. And it happened sometimes that I did not get authorization for the person to do anything with the case. And sometimes it was a delay for 3-4 days that I didn't have no authorization in order to help that person.
Well, and maybe if you guys could enlighten our viewers a little bit, well, and Kim and I too, is it true that when it comes to a demonic possession or oppression, demonic oppression, that you have to invite them in? Or is that just, that's part of...
I mean, sometimes yes, and sometimes no. I mean, it's not almost inviting them, but I think most people, they, like a very easy example is, some people they attach, for example, I go with the couple case we had that the lady lost her husband, and they have a hard time to let the husband go. And they think, they try to make a connection. And of course, the connection is not with the husband because, the demonic entities, they can copy the voice for that person. And of course, even confirmation of for example, the name the husband used to call the wife, because the person kind of challenged them with these kind of things. And of course, as soon as the person talk about it, actually they can read the person's minds, the names and everything else. And of course they think the husband is going to be okay for sometimes and it get crazy, and they know that it's not. And it happened before that, a person actually told me, this is my husband, I would like to have him here, which I knew it wasn't her husband.
Well, that is one of the common things is the I'm going to air quote this, the trickster stuff that goes on, right? I mean, that's one of the most complicated parts of all this.
Yeah, I mean, actually, it's the best. Actually, I always talk about this, and then probably the most important things from the demonic or demonic spirit is first that people, they know that they do not exist. That's one of the illusions. And this is the secret of, they're not going to try to kind of come and show themselves to the people, but one of the things is because these people, they do not believe on them, which I do not say they have to believe on them, and it's of their existence. And what it does is they're going to be fine. is like a spirituality war among us. I mean, for us. So who's going to be where they're going to be?
Right.
And of course, all of them is like a deception, mostly. But I think the most important part is the best gun or firearm they have, the people they know that they do not exist, first thing.
Now, just so our viewers know, most of your beliefs are Judeo-Christian based, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, I do not kind of like due to the fact that, I do help everybody. I do, it doesn't matter if a person believes, doesn't believe, and it doesn't matter where they come from. We help anybody that they ask us for help.
Oh.
But a follower of the teaching of the Jesus Christ.
Right. No, I was just saying, because normally the word demon is that's associated with a lot of Judeo-Christian beliefs. You get more into the Muslim beliefs in the Far East, and you start talking about the jinn. Some of the Hindus. I don't know the name of some of the Hindu spirits, but they're phrased something totally different. They're not called a demon, but it's still the same basic. Things are tough all over when it comes to demons, because everybody's had one. You know what I mean? As far as as far as across the world, there's a quote unquote demon in almost every major belief system.
Well, and then in Ireland, there's the elementals and different levels.
Right. When you start talking about the Wiccan, the Wiccan and the pagan beliefs, you start. Yeah, that is very true. You start talking about the fact that they may have had things they didn't call demons, but they would have fallen into that category.
What do you guys think about here lately? There's been a few different gentlemen who have decided that to write a better book or to make a better show, they're actually sending out to the universe that they want to be possessed by a demon.
Crazy.
I'm with DJ.
Yeah, it is actually. I mean, the thing is, I think some people, they think this is like a joke, it's not real, and when they come, it's just a whole different story. And I think, some people, they do not know exactly what they're dealing with. And even like myself, many times, if it was not backed by the invisible forces, I never even involved in these kind of things, because what they can do to the person.
Right, and one in particular, I'm not mentioning any names, I'm not going to go there, but I've heard for a long time that he wanted to get possessed to do a better show. Well, now he's got a very bad disease. I kind of think that was called on by him because he didn't specify exactly what he wanted possessed by.
I know actually who you're talking about. I'm not going to mention their names. And before actually to get there, I knew that he is going for it. And it's not because, sometimes people, they think like moving stuff, attacking, scratching, all those things is a part of the show. But the other thing they do is the disease.
Right.
That they can cause the disease, show is over.
Well, there's been a couple more since then who have made the same statement. This is what I want, and I just kind of sit back and watch and shake my head, going,
"Here's your sign."
Yeah, no.
Here's your sign, and good luck with that.
Right.
Yeah.
You could ask me, because sometimes those diseases is not reversible. I mean, if he wants to kind of like experience, they exist or they are real, There are a lot of people, they could kind of vouch for that as kind of like he kind of put himself in the position that he cannot do anything about it.
Right. I mean, if sit there and say, throw rocks at my head, pull my hair, slap me, scratch me, whatever, but sitting there saying, I want this inside of me is just, you're asking for stuff you have no power over.
That is true.
So a lot of people are doing what's called channeling, and that's kind of what you're talking about.
Well, kind of. But
In a way. They're asking for it to come. It will.
well,
So,
excuse me. I have a tendency things like to channel through me, but it's not something I'm asking for. It's not like I'm like, okay, here, use my body for. Usually it sneaks up on me and it's done before I know it. But it's not like I'm saying I want possessed by something. And please excuse Eric and his beeps.
all this is so deep, and I think it's going in so many different directions, and, you know, people are going to continue doing this, and, you know, we wish they'd stop. They're not going to. At least, you know, they have someone to call, and lately it's been, okay, we're the last resort. Not all the time, but at least we're here. That's all I can say.
Right. I just think that there's plenty of stuff out there that we can get into without calling it upon ourselves.
And this is a surprise for you, Antonio.
Yes.
Hi.
Stacy?
Yes.
Hi, this is Eric Reisinger here with Pema TV. You're online with Antonio and DJ Rapp.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
No.
Hi.
I'm going good.
Can hear you.
Well, maybe
We're doing
DJ,
good.
DJ, maybe give everybody a little background about how you met Stacy and.
You know, I get contacted by a lot of people. Someone contacted me in regards to her and her situation, and you know, I hear so many cases a day. I knew, you know, just from what he was saying, and then I wanted to verify it from her. It wasn't a horrible case, but you know, she can explain what she was going through because it wasn't very pretty. And this was about 2.5 weeks ago, so it's a fairly new case. I think it's very touching, and Antonio doesn't get to, you know, Antonio does something totally different than what I do and what I experience. And man, I want him to see and hear her thoughts.
Stacy, what were your experiences, if you don't mind telling our viewers?
Well, I've had a lot of experiences over my lifetime. That led up to Amsterdam. I moved in with my mother because of my life circumstances, and there was she was going through some things here, so it affected me seeing things affect my mother. Extremely, here at the house, my mom would be laying in bed and she would have a counselor. She would see demonic faces flashing at her, and it'd keep her up, and I'd hear her in the room crying. She saw black clouds across her ceiling, and I've seen things in the house, shadows scurrying. And to see my mom's not getting her rest, and she would look up in the condition she was in. So,
Well, Antonio. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I was just going to ask Antonio, what do you remember most about Stacy's case?
The Stacy case, I know that with the statistics, I mean, I do a lot of cases, and DJ is right, because DJ does the interviewing and then getting the phone calls. Actually, his job is very, very, very difficult as mine. And, you know, he, after care, to be sure everything is okay. My job is to find what kind of entities I'm dealing with, and, of course, you know, get back to DJ get the sort of the time so I can kind of go ahead and remove them. And then all the time between me and DJ, when he talks about any scenario or any case, he tries to kind of like come with a different scenario so he can kind of like update me with the information. But I actually, I believe the case, one thing I know about it that they paid a lot of money to a lot of people to help them, which they were not able to do it. So they were kind of like, in some ways, I'm very against anybody to do these kind of things. Like, if they do have anything, like any power from the above, use that or sell that, because actually that will tell that these people that they're not real. But I remember that, and I think if I'm not making any mistakes, maybe she was kind of actually, they did have like a demonic spirits up there, and I believe I think maybe 5 or 4, but I do not exactly. Hey DJ, help me out here. 5. 5, yeah, they had 5 demonic spirits, and there was a lot of the stuff going on. I mean, one of the things that I kind of like is pretty, we had a couple times like a sexual touch or sexual activity, and we had before with your husband, with the wife, and of course, being a husband myself, when somebody, it doesn't matter, what kind of training the person has, they cannot kind of start something they cannot see. So it's kind of like a very sad when it happens to people, right. These kind of activities.
Yeah, and it's also it's beyond most people's, they understand to a certain point, and then you go over that point, and people, they get very lost sometimes. And I don't know if that applied to you or not, Stacy.
That's where I was. I was at that loss, and more like I kind of felt like I shut a bunch of doors, and there was this one that remained. I had a lot of health issues, and then me coming here and then seeing, the things that were here kind of stirred everything back up on that. There's got to be, something, there's got to be some help out there. Because me personally, I was feeling like my life was getting drawn out of me.
No, I can only imagine.
She's making it sound a little better than it really was. She went, I know her whole story. She was through some tough times, and she probably doesn't even want to bring those back up. And usually I tell her, after removal, let's forget this. It's gone. Let's move on. She was nice enough to do this, for Antonio, to see someone who has been through all this and what the outcome is,
right.
What the outcome can be.
Well, Stacy, how have after the clearing and everything else, how have things been?
Well, it's quite one big thing is pretty much ever since I was a teenager, my eyes kind of seemed just empty and lifeless. After removal, I looked in the mirror and I saw a sparkle. Right. I have not seen my eyes sparkle in a very, very long time. Even when I was out in public, it didn't drew attention. I had this emptiness, this sadness that was noticeable. My eyes sparkled. That was a huge shock to my system.
Yeah.
I had that. I laughed the day after. I don't laugh much. I go around, I hear everybody laughing, and I've been missing out on it for a long time. I laughed, and it was real laughter. And I felt that, and maybe like twice a year I laugh. And I laughed, and it felt amazing.
And Antonio and DJ, that's the best payment you could ever get, isn't it?
That is awesome.
Yes. This is a phrase, that is what it's about. She has been through a lot of it she's not saying, which is fine with me. I know there's points where she wanted to give up. And, she had some illness I stayed in contact with her, and as much as I can, okay? And her turnaround and some of the things that she's had illness-wise are either, I know of one last night, she said it was gone. And, you know, her not laughing or smiling, when I first talked to her, it was like I was talking to someone who was so depressed, so down, so secluded from life. And in the last week, it's like you can feel her aura, her spunk.
Right.
She's actually doing things she's never done in such a long time. And she can explain that. Some hobbies she used to have, some life ambitions, they're all back.
And maybe this will help our viewers understand a little bit, because Antonio, I know this is a little more of your specialty. What is the difference between a possession and an oppression?
Actually, for me, the person is kind of like to me, actually, I do not kind of give that much technicality to the names. When the person is possessed, actually, they are actually out of their all the organs and all their life or their thinking, and even everything in their body is not in their control, and they can do different things. And sometimes, I can kind of some things that just a regular person cannot do, as body deformities, and goes to little, not too high, depends, levitation, and of course, attacking members of the family, and of course, harming them, sometimes, cause death. And then for the other part of it is that they kind of they cannot get completely on the person in some ways, but they can be attached and then detached, back and forth. And then person can go to the different kind of mood swings, as far as even being sick on and off, until they can get completely possess the person.
Yeah, we don't really use the word possession. We use the word attachment.
Yeah, we call it attachment. Yeah.
Yeah, we call it an attachment. It's not a possession.
Mm-hmm.
It's not in you 24 hours a day where, you don't know who you are for 24 hours. It comes and goes. You lose track of time. Some people who see your eyes turn to black. And those people have no idea where they've been, what just happened. It can last 20 minutes, and then they come back,
Well, in that what we've fought so many wars over in the last 1,000 years is just labels?
Actually, to me, it is labels, because if I want to kind of focus on the names, you have people, they call like a DJ. Of course, when he was doing an interview or investigation, then came with the big name of some kind of demonic archangels, which, to me is nothing, even if it's himself, because they kind of make it big. And of course, they tried, I see some stuff that they got all these names, and of course, the way I do it, I really do not care what entity it is as far as the demonic spirits, and what is the rank.
Right.
And I do not need no names.
And
You're right.
And Stacy, are you still with us?
Yes, I am.
How, if you don't mind letting our viewers know, what, was it like a huge aha moment when this happened? Was it something that has progressively gotten better over time?
It was more, it's getting better as the days pass. It's kind of in a, best way to say, a daze. It's just a waking up. looks like I'm 27 and I've been in a 27-year nightmare. I'm still, trying to process everything and comprehend it all.
Right.
And
Why do you remember the day we did it, or no? I mean, the day?
Yes. The day we did it is 9/5, so September 5th. And the reason we do what's called aftercare, which I don't know many people that do, when you take something away from them that is been with them for so long, I explain to them what exactly they're going to feel, what they're going to go through. But guess what? None of that other stuff that was happening is happening anymore. And each day she keeps getting better, and that's why, I check in on her and make sure she's okay. She may stumble here or there, but she's feeling lost. She's feeling grief. She really lost her best friend, even though it's not.
Well,
and,
DJ, don't you have to be careful too when you clear somebody that's when you clear something like you said that's been there for such a long time, and there is a void in their, I don't want to say psyche, but I guess it would be, when there's that void there, don't you have to be careful that something even worse doesn't try to jump in?
See, it doesn't work like that, and there's specific instructions that are given, and all we do, when I first call someone, I say, can you please be honest with me? Can you please tell me the truth, and will you listen to what we have to say? Because if you are an investigator, and this has bit you, I'm going to ask you, depending on what the circumstances are, hey, you need to stop. Because if they do go back out, they can pick something else up because they are a magnet.
Right.
And what is removed, people have to understand this. What Antonio does not come back. So when they call 3 months later and say, oh, you guys are, you didn't do anything, it's back. Well, guess what? They call me. I call Antonio. I say, hey, can we recheck this out? And guess what? He can tell you exactly when, where, and what they picked up. It is not coming back from what it was before. And I even re-interview them. It's not even it doesn't even act the same. It's totally different. And we do this over and over again, and just by me talking to them, I can usually, I'm not always right, but guess what? Off to Antonio, confirm it.
Well, Stacy, let me ask you, did you have to make some changes? If you don't mind me asking, did you have to make major changes?
Over my life, I've made changes. So, in younger years, I was involved with the tarot cards. So years ago, got rid of those. I did, gotten rid of things, and then I kind of got stuck. And I went through, with this happening, I went through my whole house, a house here, and anything that gave me a bad feeling, I pitched it. I didn't even question it. I found a little book that said the Book of Spells in my room. I thought I shouldn't, I just gave me a bad feeling. I didn't question it, and I got rid of stuff.
Yeah, we usually have to, sometimes there's items that are in the house that have to go. But in general, if it's a psychic, medium, witch, whatever, if they have those spells, Book of Shadows, anything that's related to any type of ceremonial stuff, it's got to go. It's got to go off the property. Okay, yes, what was there is removed, and I'm not going to get into reasons why it has to go, but it needs to. And really, they have to stop what they're doing, and if they do get back into it, it comes back a lot worse, but not what was removed. You have to understand that.
Right.
Well, do you guys have you ever removed something and felt it was coming after you afterwards instead of just going wherever it was supposed to go?
Yeah.
It's impossible. Actually, they do not come back to us. Like I said, if I knew that they're coming back in the beginning, I never got involved in it.
Right.
Because, it's not just my safety, but my family's safety and anybody else. And of course, they're pretty good as far as harming others, and you notice what they're doing to you.
So
and then this, go ahead.
I was just going to say, so you're not on a whole lot of demons Christmas cards list then?
Well, the reason...
No, actually, the protection actually is almost like, if I can kind of describe it for you guys, even for DJ, it's come from the divine, and then it's not that I am going to give it to him. It's just almost like his confirmation that he has. Is almost like just imagine that you have like a electrical fence around your house, and they don't even get close to the area, and nobody feels anything unusual anywhere. I mean, actually, for example, like my wife is not even involved in these things. She knows what I do, but the thing is, never she had any experience with any of these things.
Well, the reason why I asked is I heard an interview once by a guy claiming to be a demonologist. And when asked by the interviewer where it goes after he goes in and does a clearing, he said, I don't know and I don't care. It can go next door for all I care.
No, you're right. Actually, they know the name. And actually, if it's a demonologist, depends of, it doesn't really matter. Actually, I'm not kind of like connected to any religious group. If they do to practice these things, some of them, they have to have names. Some of them, they have to have these. I don't use no holy water. I do not use no cross, nothing. These are all questions in some ways. And I heard people, they talk their faith. I do not think it has anything to do with their faith, because I go with his faith, not my faith. And demonologists, I do not think this is the way I do it is almost, if I can kind of describe it to you, I do have, for example, when I get the information from the DJ, he confirmed that yes, there's activity in the house. I see the person's house. I see the entities. I know the kind of the entities we are dealing with. I'm not talking always, we have most of the times it's the demonics, but most of it we have, unwanted spirits, we have unwanted ghosts, those kind of things. I know the numbers of them. I even check sometimes, because if it's demonic, they're pretty much very, very clever. If, for example, they were like a 7 at home at the time, and they know when they start calling us, and some of them actually, they go outside. So outside, I'm not talking about being in the backyard. They get far away from the house. And then, of course, I got to learn that, I would ask how many of them that left the house and where they are. And when I get them out, after, we get several time to have, like a DJ confirmed, Antonio, do it at 8 or any time, they will be gone. And, of course, the demonic spirit, they go where they come from. I'm not making any kind of I do not see that part. I know the vortex is open, and the vortex, I get the permission from the divine to open it. I cannot just open the vortex in different places. And then there are kind of almost looks like a tornado, but looks like a net that they stick or they catch these entities. And then when I get them all, and the vortex is closed, they go exactly where they come from.
Well,
and sometimes go ahead, man.
Well, please understand, I wasn't questioning you guys. It was just...
Oh.
You've got a 23-year-old...
Oh, you're talking about the monologist.
You had... There was a
23-year-old...
There was a 23-year-old kid who claimed he became a demonologist by reading books. And then when asked, where he sent them, he couldn't tell you. And to me, if you don't know where you're sending them, don't play in it.
Exactly. No, you're right on that. Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't questioning you guys. I was just saying, when I asked if anything ever came back, because, like I said, this guy had no clue what he was doing.
Right. And
you're right. Can I touch on it?
Yeah, go ahead.
you know, we run into that a lot, and, you know, there's different there's demonologists, or true demonologists, what their job is to go in, survey the place, investigate it, and if there is something there, then it is passed on to an ordained priest, okay? Then they are supposed to do a removal, if an exorcism, if what you want to call it. We don't really even call it that. But the question is, anybody who does that, okay, and you guys got a great point, when a removal is done from a body, where does it go?
Right.
And I'm not talking about what Antonio does. Where does it go? I'm speaking in because theoretically, Eric, you can do it. Do one. Hey, you can do one.
Yeah.
Where does it go? It doesn't matter. Where does it go?
Well, that's why I don't do it, because I don't want it going to the next door neighbor's house.
I don't know.
Yes,
We've had
they
some
are
pretty crappy neighbors
successful.
before.
Mm-hmm.
But you know,
Yes,
that's something, because we are paranormal investigators also, you know, and when you start talking about, you know, things being able to follow you home and the attachments that can happen, that's a very real thing. We've had very near and dear friends that have fought, you know, not only sickness, but they fought other life issues, you know, problems with the job, problems at work, you know, addictive problems with drugs and alcohol. And when they finally sit down and talk with somebody, they're like, you know, my life was hunky dory up until point A, and at point A, I went on an investigation and we did such and such.
Yeah.
And you can map it back, and when they've actually dealt with their attachments that way, things have gone back to normal in their life. People don't quite understand that when you get into paranormal investigation, this is not a game. It's not a game. It's not a hobby. You can't treat it as such. An obsession, maybe, but you can't treat it.
Once you get sucked in, it's hard to get out. And I do get the phone calls where, you know, do you want help? Can you stop what you're doing? And they say no. Yeah. And then my job, I don't even call it job, but then it becomes tough on me, because I'm like, what about your kids that you're living with? Okay? Because they're involved now too. And, you know, we can go so deep into this. You really just need to leave this alone. We get so many people that are going into people's houses and doing what are so-called cleansings. Well, it doesn't work, okay? Maybe if there's an earthbound spirit in there or something like that, but they don't know what they're dealing with, and they're going in, and what happens is they're disturbing it. And then a phone call happens where either part of the investigation team gets hurt, or the family's calling because they're standing out on the street because they can't go back in their house. And this is why, you know, this part needs to stop. And I've got a great case in California. These people spent so much money. I think 7 different people came out to their house to try and help them. Nothing. It got worse, and that's what happened. And then somehow, the funny thing is, sometimes I don't even know how these people contact, you know. We don't even know. And once again, they were so skeptical. They were so unbelievable. I just spoke with one of them the other day. They sent Antonio and I a letter. It is awesome, because now they have their life back, and all these people are burying stuff in their yard, you know, from shamans to psychics to mediums. I don't get it.
Well, Stacy, you're still with us, aren't you?
Yes.
How did you guys deal with that? Having everybody, I mean, I don't need any specifics, but to have somebody come in and tell you that I did this, and then, you know, I don't know, half an hour or a day later after they left, everything is just right back. How did you deal with that roller coaster? Because that's got to be the worst part.
You mean like in between the period of going through that?
Right, like when you would call somebody in because of multiple people that you had come to your house, you know, you'd call somebody in, they do some work, and then, you know, and then a day, like I said, a day later or 30 minutes later or whatever, it goes right back to what it was doing.
I didn't have anybody. I didn't have anybody.
Oh, okay, then I misunderstood.
But I did turn to people that were supposedly, you know, would help in that area, and I got turned away. I would look on the computer, write messages saying, I feel like I'm dying, and I feel this emptiness, and I never got responses. So I never really had anybody respond to help.
Oh, okay. Okay, I misunderstood then, which is not unusual.
I was talking about a different case out of California that we
okay.
just dealt with as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't believe, if I remember, she didn't have anybody. I think she reached out and nobody would help her.
Yeah. Well,
we do get those cases.
Kim is the 411 for us on Facebook, and there's been several times where people have hit her up. Hey, do you know somebody here? And she goes running off to her Facebook Morse code, and she's tapping into the into the network. And that is one of the benefits of Facebook. There's some really bad crap that goes on Facebook, but
no,
there is some good things with the networkingness. I know of at least 3 different occasions we've been able to get somebody at least in contact with a local team, and we only referred people that we trusted and have talked to, so it's not just like we went down a list and said, oh well, this is the only person there. These are people that we've spent time talking to and developing a relationship with.
And I
know too.
I pretty much have a few teams in each state.
Yeah.
So, depending on the area, I have a friend somewhere close.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's some people out there that know me, and it's kind of funny. They know I don't like them doing it. Whether I can stop them or not is a whole other story.
Yeah.
And there are some great teams that know where to draw the line, and that doesn't mean that they're safe either. But if you're not messing with it and you're kind of going by some simplistic rules of investigating 101, the likelihood is less. And then when they know, oh my gosh, I need to get out of here, and then make the phone call to someone who knows what they're doing, I give so much respect to. And I try to tell people, when you go in, and, a lot of people say, well, I'm talking to my grandma. Well, what's your grandma doing with you there? Because they're not talking to their grandma. It will invite you in. It will welcome you in. And then it's too late. And usually I tell people, if they hear something or something tells them to get out or something even worse, man, run. Because that is a warning and you should leave. But no, they go ahead and, face up to it.
And because we like to kind of leave everybody with helpful stuff here on the show too, I'd like to hear from Antonio first on this, but then I want to hear from you, DJ. What suggestions can you give to? And it doesn't even have to be in a ritual religious type setting. What are a few simple things that people can do who are paranormal investigators? What are some things they can do to protect themselves, and or what are some things they need to look out for when they're out investigating that you could tell them about that they may not know or recognize right offhand?
Do you want him to write a book?
I had to stop to breathe.
Yeah, actually, the best thing I can tell people, and it meant for people to do something or it meant not. That is like the purpose of life first. And it's like, if I go against my purpose that I'm here, I'm going against it. Even praying is not going to help me because actually the higher self of the person is not cooperating to protect the person. And my experience with the people that sometimes they do in the big time ways, like different things with the spirituality world. And after kind of checking on them, then I find out that that's not their path. And actually they knew that it was not their path, but they continue doing that. So then, of course, to me, I know for some people it's entertainment, but they are here and they are exist, and movement of the doors or tables, scratches, all those things is kind of like a elementary in some ways, and they do not want to go farther in that area if it's not their purpose. And there are some people that, they're paranormal investigators, and just they're born to do this. That's their purpose, to help people, confirmation, but they have, there's activity in their house. And for them, it's okay, because actually they're, in some ways, they're protected. After the purpose becomes the prey, they're just kind of like have to hire stuff to protect them. And most of the times, my recommendation is, just pray and ask Christ to cover you when you are doing what you're doing.
DJ?
Okay. And once again, we're not talking about everyone, but once again, it's just better to leave this alone, okay? In the realm from paranormal investigation, because you're messing with something that you really don't want. If someone has to do it, I've made posts out there. If you want to learn investigation 101 because you can't stop, I recommend they protect in and out with a prayer. You have to sort your equipment out. Okay, you can't go in and be provoking. We've got now people doing Ouija board in there, seances, yes, channeling, and I really don't know what they're doing. And then they're also doing cleansing. They're spraying holy water in the house. Well, guess what? They're in trouble, and not in every situation, but in most. And if something's telling you not to do it, you need to stop and really check yourself, or it'll be too late. And, this is a daily event for us. So if you have to do it, and you're very spiritual, and, he just talked about faith. You can have all the faith in the world. If it wants you, it's going to get you. If you're going to mess with it, it's going to bite back. So I just kind of say leave it alone.
Okay. Anything?
No.
Well, gentlemen, we are winding down to the end. Stacy, I want to thank you so much for joining us tonight and sharing your story. That means a lot.
Thank you.
Well, gentlemen, we are kind of winding down here towards the end. Do you,
Websites, events, books, parties, any pizza?
I love pizza. If anybody wants to get a hold of it, it's demondoctors.com, and that's spelled D-O-C, like, it's not the abbreviation. As for events, we just worked on a 4-week project. Not going to go into what it was. And now we're back to the, playing catch up. And yes, we were still doing cases during this 4-week period. We do have some events coming up. And, we're available. People know us. You can get a hold of us. And once again, you do not have to go to their houses. We do not talk about that. We do this anywhere, anytime, any place, worldwide. My phone is open 24 hours a day. And I'm telling you, the turnaround time when someone contacts me is quicker than you can get into a restaurant.
So,
okay, now is that a really, really good restaurant, or are we talking Golden Corral here?
I'm talking, as far as, I'll be biased. I try to give 4 5-star service.
Awesome.
And once again, I think you guys talked about me last time because you wouldn't have me on the show, but I missed it. We do not charge for any of this.
So that means that if I need help and call DJ, and I have to get really good pizza to get him to show up.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
Well, actually, the whole fact, DJ, the whole fact that you got the way you two are set up, you not only do a pre-interview, but you also do aftercare. That just proves that whole fact that you go through the extra steps proves that you both you guys care about what you're doing. Whether you want to say it's a calling or whatever, that just your actions speak much louder than words. You know what I mean?
100% we do care, and it's not all smooth and dry. Okay, don't get that. We do have our moments in our days and very tough cases, and we didn't get into anything like that. So, but what she does and what I do, it works. If people would just listen, and if they're honest with us, because this is 100% confidential. There are the only people that truly know what we do and whether it works are the people we work with.
Right.
That's it.
Well, gentlemen, we want to thank you for being with us tonight.
And we still owe you one, DJ.
Yeah, we do. We owe you one.
I didn't forget.
Okay. You don't owe me anything, but I'll take it.
And next time we have you guys on, we're going to do live video Skype, so everybody can actually see you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you have someone come out and teach us?
Come out and do what?
Can you have someone teach us how to do that? Because we're kind of old school.
Sure. I can teach you how. I taught
We
him
don't
how
really
to
have
use. I
time
taught
to
him how to
learn new
use Skype.
things.
If I can use Skype,
Yeah.
anybody can use Skype.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. Then I'll see you soon.
Because I am the team tech-tard, and I admit it freely.
Right.
All right, guys. Thank you so very much.
Thank you guys
Thank you
again.
for having us.
Oh, our pleasure. Thank you guys. And
All
everybody
right,
else.
bye-bye.
Everybody else, real quick. Tomorrow night, tune in. I've got to get confirmation from her and get a hold of her, but we should have Maureen from Tarot Vision should be simulcasting her show with us tomorrow. And before that, you can catch Spiritually Raw and their weekly wrap-up show with their episodes shown here. We are the only place there that they are doing that. And with that, we're out of here.
Check every night. There's something on every night.
New shows coming.
At least two
Come
nights.
lose some weight with me on Tuesday nights.
Come watch Eric try to touch the back,
Back
of
of
his
his
head
head
with
with
his
my
foot.
foot. Yeah, that ought to be good. You can see I'm already falling apart. Night, guys.
Night, guys.
Alarm setting all around. Got a box full of batteries ready to go. And everyone's itching to start this show. Got our logo tees, driving black SUVs. And that one bald guy with a slick goatee. Hey, round up the team. Let's get started. Hey, this is Brother Mike. Well, there's a party and you're invited. We got the camera set, let's turn off these lights. 'Cause all my rowdy friends are goes hunting tonight. Hey, round up the team. Let's get started. Hey, this is your big brother Mike calling. Well, there's a party and you're invited. We got the camera set, let's turn off these lights. 'Cause all my rider friends are goes hunting tonight. That's right. Go get 'em, boys!
Hi, everybody.
Welcome to Pema TV. It is September 21st, 2012.
And
Thanks
then
for pointing that out, because
and then
I didn't
it-
even notice that.
Um,
This is the Sarcastic Yeti.
yes. And this is the perpetually sarcastic wife. Tonight we've got some very special guests, but before we get there, we do have quite a bit of news.
First of all, we'd like to send our condolences to
Most definitely.
family and friends of Father Andrew Calder. Calder. I don't know why his name just slipped out of my head. I've known it forever.
He was definitely one of the good ones. He would help you if he needed help. He would also stand his ground on his beliefs too, and you have to respect the man for that.
Absolutely. I met him 2 years ago at Scarefest,
Hmm.
and he was very nice.
Yeah, he's a very, very, very congenial. He's one of the good ones. He will most definitely be missed.
Absolutely.
Here on the network on PEN, do have a lot of new shows coming. Want to let you know, since everybody kind of already knows that I'm I'm a lard ass. There's really no other way to say that. But starting this,
investigations, people were needing help. Well, I think I knew what I was doing, but guess what? I didn't know what to do for them. Okay? So then from there, you know, I ran into this great gentleman, and it's totally gone a whole different way, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Antonio, how about yourself?
I actually had experienced like a paranormal experience when I was a kid, but I did not get involved into it. I tried to, actually I kind of like felt kind of like a scared and at the time, and seeing different things or hearing different things. And I got to the point that almost like 9-10 years ago, I made a wish, and my wish came true. Which my wish was that it was like some stuff going on all over in the world. And of course, I was trying to bring my mother to here. I had like a little problem as far as paperwork and different things. Due to the fact the relationship between all these countries, and I knew the root of it. It comes from more greater, not greater in that sense, but more powerful forces that almost play almost like a wall to us. So I decided, it was like at 2 a.m. I made a wish that if I get any power in order to get to the demonic force, I will bring the devil back. And after, maybe after I finished, I started walking, so I started hearing voices, and which all started from there.
So kind of be careful what you wish for, because sometimes you get it.
Shadow on the wall that looks like a man. Lord, that lamp just moved on that stand. I got movement in the cellars, I got footsteps in the hall. There's no time to waste, I better make some calls. I gotta get ready, make everything right, 'cause all my rowdy friends are ghost hunting tonight. Hey, round up the team, let's get started. Hey, this is Brother Mike. There's a party and you're invited. We got the camera set, let's turn off these lights, 'cause all my rowdy friends are ghost hunting tonight. This old house has a long history. It should be real, real good for activity. And we got the house wired for sound and got motion.
Tuesday, we are bringing a new show on Tuesday nights called Namaste Yoga. And I'm going to do it.
I'm going to sit back and watch him try to.
She just wants me to get my foot behind my head. And
absolutely.
She already knows if my foot makes it behind my head, there's going to be an ambulance involved. But just wanted to let you know here on.
But I will take pictures.
We are striving to bring you some new and different programming and some stuff to expand your mind, expand your body. So join us on Tuesday nights.
Join us on Monday nights.
Also have a new show starting next Thursday, this coming Thursday, called Lease on Air with Heather Lease. Going to be another great talk-based show. Some other shows are definitely in the works. Plus our already stellar lineup of great shows with great hosts. Every time you come here, you'll learn something. For sure. But tonight, we are joined by
the Demon Doctors, Antonio and DJ. Gentlemen, are you with us?
Yes.
Yes, hello.
Thank you.
How are you guys doing?
We are doing fine. How are you?
Well, I'm going to ask the standard issue question I'm sure you guys are used to asking.
You'll have to pick one or the other because I can't see who's talking at what.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll start with you. DJ. What got you started in this pursuit? I mean, what got you motivated to get you going into house clearings, helping people?
Well, a long time ago, I guess I was just bored, and I just said, you know what, I want to find out about this ghost thing, if they really exist or not. And just kind of started out that way, and got into like a local group, and not a lot happened at first, and then they kept getting involved, and I was taking some classes and learning, and it seemed like everyone wanted to be with me, like as the team leader and stuff like that, because things would happen around me. Now, not for me, but around me, and then it went from there to where house investigation.
Well, actually, I think, sometimes they say, if you wish, I think when your mind, your heart is in it, that you get it. And of course, to me, I don't think anybody else, they wish for anything like that. Most people, they wish for different things, maybe for better life, better jobs, or sometimes be a president or something like that. But I meant that I wished for it. And then, yes, you're right on that. But I'm actually happy. I'm very, very happy that actually I got this power from the divine to help people.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the happiness that it made me, I cannot even describe it with words.
Well, I'm very curious about this. I don't know about Kim. I'm going to ask this. Why did you guys choose the name the Demon Doctors?
Well, Demon Doctors actually came from, I worked for the security company, and I'm kind of like a leading a group of the people. I have a tendency to call everybody doctor.
Gotcha.
And, just from there, it was no intention in it, although I had some feedback and come to understanding, but, we just call it because, somebody that can kind of help people with the demonic activities.
What? Go ahead.
When you guys go out on these cases, that aren't necessarily demonic, but they're just cranky spirits. Do you think all of them need to be crossed over, or do you think some of them just need to be left alone to do whatever they want to do?
Well, actually, go ahead, DJ, if you want.
Go ahead.
Do you want me? Okay, no, actually, you want to go ahead.